Hi friends, Prepared Suburbanite here. Wanted to answer a call from Prepared Mind 101 who just put out a video on base camp in a bag. And what he meant by that is, can you put together a kit that contains all the right stuff so that you can build a base camp in a hurry? A tarp, your tie downs, your cordage, all those kinds of things. So here's my response to Prepared Mind 101. Alright, the Prepared Mind 101 started with a bag for his that was a SATCOM bag that came from Meritech. SATCOM being a satellite communication antenna bag. Runs about $79 from a supplier that he's aware of somewhere. And I thought, gee, that seems to be an awful lot of money. So the first thing I checked on was there's got to be an alternative to that kind of a cost for a base camp bag. So the base camp bag, I started checking around and found that you can buy tripod cases for your regular camera tripods. Just the case itself, you can pick them up on Amazon for $20 to $30. And they generally give you about the same amount of room, probably not all the functionality or the ruggedness of a SATCOM bag, but I found that those were actually pretty cool, and I put one on my Amazon wish list just in case I wanted to do that. With all the things that we've got planned for this summer, with the purchase of our bug out location, I'm thinking that having a base camp bag ready to go is going to be pretty helpful, because we're not going to be able to stay there at the very early stages. So we're going to go up, maybe work for a day, set camp, stay overnight, maybe one night, work during the next half a day or so, take down camp, drive back home, shower, clean up, go on with our regular lives, and then go back up a few days later and do it again, and just keep working on the bug out location. So I really saw the need to have a base camp in a bag that's very functional and very versatile, and it's got the things that I need. So the thought struck me yesterday while I was just sitting around really not doing anything, and the thought struck me that I had a pair of old folding camp chairs, and one of them just absolutely fell apart over time, but I kept the bag that it came in, and this is the bag that it came in. So this thing really didn't cost me anything. I just happened to think that, gee, that's a pretty nifty bag, that may come in handy for something someday, and now I think I've found what it's going to be handy for, and that's going to be my base camp in a bag. So let's get into the contents of my base camp in a bag. I simply took the end of this that's got a regular corded tie down, wrapped it around, kind of folded it in like you would a dry bag, and the contents that I have, I put in this tote bag that we got at a educational conference before I retired, and they were just giving these bags away as part of their vendor gift kind of a thing. But what I found is that this canvas bag seems to be pretty rugged enough to handle what we needed to have for the contents of the kit. So in here I've got a various assortment of tent pegs. Got 8-inch ones, I got 6-inch ones, I've got a bunch of the backpacker ultralight aluminum ones. Whoop, there's another one. And I've got a bunch of these extra cheap clips that come with tents and tarps and things like that. So I just threw them all in the bag to try to keep them all together. But that gives me pretty much anything I need to put a tarp up that's going to be able to protect us from the elements, get us in out of the rain, keep our gear dry, that kind of stuff. So that's what's in this bag, and I put it in this bag to keep it kind of from rattling around. This isn't the strongest material in the world. This is just pretty thin nylon. It's not ripstop or anything like that. But also in the kit, I threw in a roll of number 36 bank line that's going to come in handy for tying corners, lashing things together for the base camp, that kind of a thing. So I've got that. Got another small kit here that I put together in a little zippered pouch that's got 4 of the Night Eyes 9-beaners that are really, really handy for setting up tarps, getting them taut, doing all kinds of great things. Picked these up on Amazon. I think for a 4-pack of them, they were about $12. So it's really quite a good investment for having these. Also in here is the instruction card on how to use them. And I've got 2 of the smaller ones from Night Eyes, the 9-beaners. A little bit smaller if you don't need something quite as rugged. And then down in the base of the bag itself, 100 feet of 7-strand 550 paracord for the ridge lines and tie downs. And a tarp. I believe this is an 8x12 Harbor Freight camouflage 5 mil thick just camouflage tarp. It's probably $6 or $7 at Harbor Freight. I've got it tied up with a pre-made ridge line. I've got some of the tensioning clips that Chris Tanner talked about on his video in Prepared Mind 101 for attaching your tarp to ridge lines and all that. So I picked up a pack of 4 of those. They're very inexpensive, come in very handy. I've tied this together with a pre-made ridge line and used a 9-beaner to cinch it all down, and it all fits in this sleeve for an old camp chair that finally went bad on us. So I figured that altogether I've got probably $20 or $25 invested in this. Now this piece of bank line goes for somewhere around about $17, I believe, and I got this from Amazon. But that's a pound, so there's, I think, 380 yards or something of cordage in here, which is much more than you'd ever need. So I may have to trim this down and put this in a smaller packet. These clips are very inexpensive, probably $1 or $1.25 a piece. These, like I said before, got a 4-pack for $12 on Amazon. These are about 80 cents at Walmart for the ultralight tent stakes. These are in that same kind of a price range, 50 to 99 cents at Walmart. The 6-inch ones are a little bit less. These were just scarfed out of old tents that we no longer use, or have they've ripped, or we've discarded them over the last 30 years or so, but I kept the tent stakes. So that's pretty much the whole idea. I think this is a great idea to keep all this stuff together in a single pack so that you can just grab and go whenever you think you're going to have to set up a camp. Pretty much everything's all together. Allows you to organize your gear, keep all the right stuff together in a single package. It's very easily carried. This thing does have a shoulder strap on it, so if you got to trek it into the woods for a ways, you've got that to sling over your shoulder. Can't think of a better way to get the job done. This is the Prepared Suburbanite reminding you to be prepared always.